Yes, sir. We welcome you back to the second segment of the Shakeback Sports Show right here on the Big Game Christian Sports Network. It's your boy Willie Epteen Jr. holding it down, rolling solo. Thank you for that, Mr. Master P. Yes, sir. Is there a heaven for a gangster? That's what that is. All right. Thank you guys out there for checking us out on Facebook, Willie Epteen Jr., BGC Sports Network, Shakeback Sports Show, as well as LinkedIn, Willie Epteen Jr., and YouTube. That, of course, is the Shakeback Media Group on Instagram TV, Instagram Live. That's right, baby. And, of course, Twitter, Shakeback Media Group, as well as, that's right, I got a new one. I have linked up with another network. Yes, Sideline Sports Network, specifically Raider Nation. What it is, Las Vegas or season SS. Well, I'll give it to you in just a second. Anyway, before we move any further in this second segment, it is being brought to you by Simple Simon's Pizza. Yep, they are now in Crowley, Texas with carryout, curbside service, and more. Customers can place their orders online at simplesimonspizza.com or call in or order inside the store. The menu features the Simple Simon's Classic Pizza, Original Calzone, and the Beast Pizza, a whopping 30-inch pizza topped with all of your favorite toppings. Since 1983, Simple Simon's Pizza has maintained a plain and simple vision statement to glorify God by promoting family values and helping others to succeed. The mission statement to provide simply the best customer service experience. I'm hungry now. Stop on by Simple Simon's Pizza today, located at 208 East Main Street, Suite C, Crowley, Texas, 76036, or give them a call, 817-945-2485. Tell them that your boy, Willie Epteen Jr. from the Shakeback Sports Show, as well as the Shakeback Media Group, and of course, the Big Game Christian Sports Network, told you to holler so y'all can set it off on your hunger, pains, and needs. Okay, so in the first segment, we did talk about LeBron James, a lot of NBA talk there in the first segment. It's getting real. It's getting close to getting real as the trade deadline is approaching, and we talked about LeBron James and how he's on the verge of breaking what many people deem to be an unbreakable record, and that is, of course, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's career scoring mark of over 38 racks in points. And that dude is on his way to surpassing that. I think he's going to do it probably within the next 12 to 14 games or so. So we shall see if he stays relatively healthy and all that other good stuff. All right, so let's move on to the NFL. As you may or may not know, my Raiders are not in it, but it's all good. Wild card weekend has come and gone, and it was an exciting weekend for a lot of fan bases out there, to include hashtag Duval, as well as, I will say, probably the 49ers, because of what they did or what they didn't do in the first half against the Seattle Seahawks. But here they are. And so the Jaguars, they defeat the Los Angeles Chargers in maniacal fashion. Even if that word fits, it's going to fit now, because Trevor Lawrence, the once in a generational quarterback from the Jacksonville Jaguars, went 5 for 13 for, I think, 38 yards with 4 picks in the first half. Well, he throws 4 touchdowns in the second half, and the Chargers give up the third highest deficit in an NFL playoff game ever. And they end up losing to hashtag Duval down there in Jacksonville. What was it, 33-31, something to that effect? Y'all know I don't know final scores. I just know highlights and low lights and things that keep me interested. And I'm saying I'm thinking that the final score should keep me interested, but I do know who won. Okay. Also, the Miami Dolphins, without Tua Tagovailoa, without Teddy Two Gloves, went up to Buffalo, Western New York, to play their hated rival from the AFC East. They had hashtag Bills Mafia on the ropes. Skylar Thompson played a magnificent game. I shouldn't say magnificent, but he kept those dudes in the game. He didn't lose it for him. The defense forced a couple of turnovers, but Buffalo was able to subdue the Dolphins in the end as they will move on to face the Cincinnati Bengals. Also, the Cincinnati Bengals, they did defeat the Baltimore Ravens, and that game in Cincinnati was a barn burner as well, 24-17. It took a Herculean effort by quarterback from the Ravens. Nope, not Lamar Jackson. Nope, not Robert Griffin III, but Mr. Oh my gosh, what's his name? I forgot his name. Tyler Huntley. It took a Herculean effort and a running game that really punched a lot of holes in that Cincinnati defense. But for a Mr. Hubbard fumble recovery on an attempted quarterback sneak from the 3-yard line, go figure that. He returns it to the house, and the Bengals march on to take on the Bills in the divisional round. Okay, in the NFC, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, yeah, they're out of there. Tampa Bay loses to the Cowboys in really, really dominant fashion by the Cowboys. Tom Brady looked every bit of the 45-year-old man that he is. My question is, why in the world Byron Leftwich, who, by the way, is no longer employed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers organization as they fired their offensive coordinator this past week, why in the world would you allow Tom Brady at that age to drop back 66 times against that pass rush? I don't understand. But anyway, so what's next for the Buccaneers? Who knows? Because Brady is going to be gone. And Evans is going to steal, but who's going to be there to throw the ball? I mean, I heard Derek Carr is a possibility. I heard Jimmy Garoppolo is a possibility. Heck, I even heard that Lamar Jackson might be a possibility, but we know that Lamar Jackson is not leaving the Ravens. They will franchise tag him, and he would have to sit out. So no more Tom Brady, no more Tampa Bay Bucks. They're out of there to the Cowboys. And then the Minnesota Vikings, the most fraudulent 13-4 team in the history of both organized and unorganized sports. They fall at home to a New York Giants team that really should have beat them in their first matchup a few weeks ago. This one wasn't as close as that game was. Daniel Jones has, to me, solidified his status as the franchise quarterback for the Giants moving forward. If they do not pay this dude, they will be stupid unless they go and get Derek Carr. And I'm not sure that Derek Carr, with that offense in this time during Derek Carr's career, would be a better fit. Danny Dimes has shown that he can actually perform well under the tutelage of one Brian Daboll, who I think will be coach of the year. But Saquon Barkley, who knows what's going to happen with him? They're probably going to franchise tag him. I don't know. They got to do something with both of those guys. But as it stands right now, they move on to face the Philadelphia Eagles for the third time this year. That game will be in Philly. So the scene is set for the Final Four in each conference. We have, did I mention the I didn't mention the San Francisco 49ers. The San Francisco 49ers, they beat up on the Seattle Seahawks. Actually, I did mention them. But anyway, so here we go. Here we are. San Francisco will be playing home to the Dallas Cowboys. And I think that Jerry Jones has he has laid down the gauntlet in terms of, they did beat the GOAT. But here, wait a minute, Jerry's here. What you got, Jerry?
Now, I'm not going to be here much longer. And I'm going to need you to get me a Super Bowl. Now, if we can't play on the field, if we can't compete, then I'm going to get rid of every one of y'all. I'm just going to go ahead and draft all my players all over again, because I'm not going to sit here for another 96 years waiting on a Super Bowl when we have the ability to make a run at it this year. Michael McCarthy, you're gone. After this, if you lose this first game, if you can't beat, what's his name? The GOAT.
You know his name.
I know Tom Brady's the GOAT, but if we can't beat the GOAT, I'm going to fire everybody.
Well, he doesn't have to fire everybody because they did beat the GOAT. You know his name, Jerry, but that wasn't really Jerry. Y'all know who that was. That was George. What's up, man? We got some social media comments on Instagram Live. That was the dopest engineer in the game, Big Day, with his show, This Sick Show. Only he can do that on his show, but he let me take a piece of that. That was him, Daryl Day. You can hear his show on the 11s and 5s and the 12s and 6s Monday through Friday on the BGC Sports Network. So that was not the real Jerry Jones. That was Daryl Day. But the thing is that we're reliving history once again. The Cowboys got their first road win in the last 20 plus years. Okay. The 49ers and Cowboys history is well documented all the way up and until last year, when really, but for a couple of seconds, who knows what would have happened on that last play of the game had they been able to get that snap off. 23-17 was the score in Dallas last season. Nick Bosa, and as a matter, got to think too, the 49ers went into that game as a wild card. So they were the 5th seed, and I think the Cowboys were the 4th seed, if I'm not mistaken. So now it's flipped. The 49ers are the 2 seed, and the Cowboys are the 5th seed. Let's talk about this matchup in terms of advantages and who you have more confidence in. Okay, let's start at the quarterback position. I know Dak Prescott played a flawless game on Monday night against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I know that he has had some issues with turning the ball over this year. He led the NFL in interceptions with 15 after playing in only 12 games. I get that. Brock Purdy was the last pick in last year's draft for a reason. Although the reasons that they are, he's shown none of that in this winning streak for the 49ers. I mean, he's actually played better than Dak. So if you ask me, who do I have more confidence in going into this particular game at the quarterback position? Is it Dak or is it Purdy? I'm going to say I have more confidence in Purdy because of the defensive front that Dak is going to have to face. Running back room, Christian McCaffrey, Elijah Mitchell, and the rest, Zeke and Tony Pollard. I'm going with the 49ers because, again, of the front 7 that the Cowboys are going to have to face. Wide receiver room, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, and Mr. Jennings against CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, and T.Y. Hilton. I'm going with the 49ers because of Deebo and the different places you can line him up on the field and give him the ball from various areas. Tight end room, Dalton Schultz or George Kittle. I'm going George Kittle once again because George Kittle is a top 5 tight end, and he's shown that over the years. Let's swing it to the defense. Front 7. Let's start front 4. I'm giving the edge to the 49ers because they can generate a rush with just those 4 dudes. And they got Nick Bosa. I understand that the Cowboys have Michael Parsons, but I am going with Nick Bosa and the front 4 from the 49ers because of Armstead. Outside of Parsons, their pass rushers may be average at best, and that includes DeMarcus Lawrence. Linebackers, I'm going with the 49ers. They have the best linebacker core in the National Football League. Secondary, this is where it gets interesting because the 49ers secondary is the weakest part of their team. DK Metcalf had his way with Ward and I forgot the other corner's name last week in the wild card game. That is the weakest part of their team. Outside of the safety that the 49ers have, I'm still going to go with the 49ers on this. Special teams, well, Brett Maher, Money Maher, he missed 4 kicks against the Buccaneers, so much to the fact that they don't even have any confidence in him. And of course, Jerry Jones, who you just heard from, they've brought in another kicker to back up Brett just in case he bricks. I'm going with the 49ers and Robbie Gould. Special teams, Kevontae Turpin is a once-in-a-generational returner. Neville High School, Monroe, Louisiana, 318, y'all stand up. I'm going to give the special teams, the return team, basically, to the Cowboys. So what does that mean? I have checked all the boxes for the 49ers. What does that mean? Who's going to win the game? Come on back in the third segment, I'll tell you. All right, let's move to the other NFC game between the Giants and the Eagles. They say, and you know who they is, or they are, or they will be, or they want to be, whoever they is, they say that it is very hard to beat a team 3 times in the same year. That's what we're asking Philly to do against the Giants. That's what we're asking Philly to do with a bummed up shoulder for their quarterback, Jalen Hurts. Let's do the same thing. We got about 4 minutes left to go in the segment. So, quarterback. The way Daniel Jones has been playing, now I know it was against Minnesota, and their defense absolutely sucks. But Daniel Jones against Jalen Hurts right now, I think I might have a little bit more confidence in Daniel Jones. Yeah, I said it. Running back room, easy, Philadelphia Eagles. Wide receiver room, easy, Philadelphia Eagles. Tight ends, easy, Philadelphia Eagles. Front four, easy, Philadelphia Eagles. Linebacker core, easy, Philadelphia Eagles. Secondary, easy, Philadelphia Eagles. Who went or special teams, easy, Philadelphia Eagles. Coaching, easy. Not easy, because Dayball's done a heck of a job, and Nick Sirianni, I think he's got a little bit more to prove. So I'm actually more confident in Brian Daboll more so than Nick Sirianni. That doesn't mean that I don't have any confidence in him at all. He's got the most pressure on him out of these two head coaches. So I'm going with the confidence level towards Brian Daboll and the New York Giants. Okay, George, I see you, man. The last time Cowboys won a road playoff game, you and I were still serving our country. Thank you for your service, by the way. And yes, we were. Philly has a suspect O-line now that Lane Johnson is hurt. And the Giants have a pretty good D-line. Those things are definitely true. But remember, the question wasn't who was better. The question was, who do you have more confidence in? So, George, I thank you for your comments, brother. And, of course, thank you for your service. Who's going to win the game? Come on back on the other side. I'm going to tell you that as well. We're going to break down the Bills and the Bengals. We're going to start here, and then we're going to finish up on the other side because we only got about a minute and a half left to go in this segment. But the Bills, 2 seed, Bengals, 4 seed. Both of them are division champions. The game that was played in week 17, of course, we all know about it, Damar Hamlin and the whole situation of the game being canceled and, what happens if Buffalo faces, all that. We're aware of all of that. But here's the thing that we are also aware of. Before that game was stopped, the Cincinnati Bengals were having their way with the Buffalo Bills on offense. And this is the time, ladies and gentlemen, where Buffalo really misses, terribly misses Von Miller because of his ability to close games from a pass rushing perspective. All right, that's going to do it for the second segment. Y'all come on back on the other side of the break. I promise we're going to finish this up. Willie Epteen Jr., Shake Back Sports Show, Big Game Christian Sports Network. Man, y'all come on back and holler at us.